Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Now join me today where we will be unboxing the Seestern watches. I did a video a while ago just talking about a brand new watch on Aliexpress and I showed a few watches that they have, the main one being the Doxa Homage, and the significant thing being that they seem to have improved on a lot of the issues where Tactical Frog unfortunately and untactfully did mess up. Now there is a V2 Tactical Frog on its way as well, so I think there'll be a bit of competition between Tactical Frog and Seestern, so I'm actually quite looking forward to that, you know, competing to get the best watch out there possible. So I've got 4 watches that sent in to me by Seestern, so big shout out to Seestern for sending these out, and as you subscribers know, that in no way shape or form affects the outcome of the review, and of course Seestern are well aware any issues that are present will be definitely highlighted. So yeah, we've got 4 pieces here. I know definitely the Doxa Homage is in there, and I think the 6.2 Mass Homage possibly is in there, but I don't know what this one is. So let's get them unboxed. Let's quickly have a look. I'll talk a little bit about each watch, give you at least the dims and specifications, and of course I'll follow up with a full review. So let's get to unboxing. So let's start off with these plastic case here, and the first thing you'll see is Glamormaster, which I mentioned is the store on AliExpress responsible for these brands. Now they also host Sugues, Seestern, and something called Seekors watches, and I'll mention Seestern is in collaboration with Sugues, and I think Glamormaster is probably the parent store, I suppose. So there is quite a few watches on that store. You get warranty card, of course it's blank at the moment, and then you do also have a bit of a booklet here, which goes through, of course, the general, you know, instruction manual on how to use your watch, how to use automatic watches in general, which is quite helpful because, you know, we can't assume everyone knows how to use them, but I have had some people in the past ask me, how does this work, how does that work? Oh, it also has a few different movements on here. I don't know if it has the NH35, but it's not something I'm going to look into. So that's there. So the first one that we do have is the Seestern 62 Mass Homage. Okay, let's unbox them all first and then let's set them out. So let's have a look at the blue box, what this looks like. Cardboard sleeve, mechanical on the front. I've seen this box on the Sugues watches, so what is in there? Because I looked at a couple of dress style mechanical chronograph watches on the site as well. So same booklet. Okay, this is the Sub Homage. Okay, I didn't expect that. You also get a strap with that. It's not fitted, so it's not curved in, so we won't look at that. But yeah, we've also got the Sub Homage on here. So as you can see, 4 watches from Seestern, and it's quite unusual. You know, suppliers, brands don't usually send out this many watches, but I think Seestern are excited because they're quite new to get their watches out there, and I think they want to show us a bit of a sample of what they have to offer. So they've done a few very famous watches here and very popular. But the main ones, of course, I know you guys are interested in the Doxa Homages, and for that reason I will put these back and I'll show you towards the end of the video, just so we can have a quick look at the 2 watches that we have here. The first one being the Sub Homage. So just having a quick look around it, let's unwrap it. There we go. The first watch from Seestern is the Submariner Homage, and you know what, they're using that James Cameron style dial. It's a gradiented blue and black dial. I like it. Let's have a quick look at it. The thing with sub watches, I find them so generic, and with all the homages out there, and it isn't always as straightforward as being able to tell how good one of these is, because they do usually have very subtle differences. But in hand, I think the one thing that does stand out on here is that brushing, and that bracelet does feel quite nice. I think that has been done really well. Fully brushed bracelet. Let's have a look at that clasp, a traditional clasp with a glide lock. Let's check the glide lock out because, you know, they're not always the best. So I just slightly lift it. Okay, that seems to work. Decent. Very slick brushing. Look at the case. The case isn't as thick. It's got some really nice sides here, highly polished, of course. Solid end links, Maryland links, ceramic bezel insert, sapphire crystal, sapphire magnification glass. The watch runs NH35 movement, and of course full 316L stainless steel. 200 meters on the watch. The dial looks pretty decent as well. Of course, traditional hour markers. Okay. The crown is quite nice as well. Very nice movement on the crown. That's very smooth. Let's check the bezel out. That's very, very smooth. Just how I like a bezel to rotate, to be honest. No playback, no movement. That's nice. And I don't want to reserve any judgment, any comments, because I'm just spending literally a couple of minutes with each watch. But so far, so good. There's nothing that really jumps out. But of course, give me a few days with the watch, and then I can do a full review on it and check out all the different features. So let's have a quick check on the dimensions, see where we are. 40mm case diameter, 48mm lug to lug, and 13mm on the thickness. Now let's check out the 62 mass homage. I think let's get the specs and dims out the way first. So dimensions on this is 38.1 on the diameter. Lug to lug is about 46.3. Case thickness 13.5. The watch does have a Seiko Epson NH35 movement. It's got a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating, and it does have a ceramic bezel insert. Nice 120 click unidirectional bezel, screw down crown, screw down case back. And instantly, you know what's jumping out on the case? Because, we've looked at some pretty great 62 mass homages. We've looked at the Heimdallers and the San Martins, but we've also looked at the 54 watch, which was quite close to the OG. And one thing that stands out here is dimensions are right, but the case finishing is quite different to the 54 watch. You can see, rather than polishing on the side, you can see some very fine satinized brushing. I think that's a really nice touch. You've got some polish highlights around the edges. And that looks quite good so far in hand. Let's have a quick look at the case back. And we saw in the pictures in the video that I did previously, you've got the wave pattern with the star, because if you don't know, Seestern means starfish in German, and it is spelled correctly. Now this is really nicely done, actually. That feels really good. The engraving on here, the pattern, it's actually to a really high quality, and you can definitely tell that when you touch it. Okay. Case looks good. Just have a closer look at the dial quickly. They do have a few different colors, and this is a burgundy red sort of fume style dial. You can see it darkening around the edges. I think one thing that does stand out, the date is just slightly to one side. It looks slightly off center to the right, but yeah, it does look slightly, doesn't it? But the hands look great, the dial looks great, the logo's okay, fully applied hour markers. Everything looks pretty good on this. Like I said, the thing that will stand out is the finishing on the case. I think that looks absolutely immaculate, really gorgeous. And the strap, very soft as well. Different, not your retro tropical style or your waffle style, something quite different. Okay, getting very interesting. Now, as mentioned as well, the price, it is around the £135 mark, so around $180-ish. So it's good to see that they all are the same. So now the watches that you guys have been waiting for. So let's give you specs and dims first and foremost. So you got NH35 movement in this. You also have a domed sapphire crystal. No, is it flat? Yeah, it's a flat sapphire crystal. You do have 316L stainless steel case construction. I think it's 200 meters of water resistance. So let's go ahead, check the dimensions out. And already in hand, it looks quite different to the Tactical Frog. And the one thing they have got right is, of course, the feet on here. And that's a bit, what I think the main thing, the main issue that the people had with the Tactical Frog. So let's check the dims out here. So the case diameter is 42.3, and lug to lug should be quite short, actually. We're looking at 45mm, and the thickness is 13.8. Okay, as you can see, the end links don't have a problem. I did get in touch with Seestern. I said, what was that picture all about with the end links? And they were quite surprised But that is the only picture they had, because I think these watches go to photographers, and I think the photographer just messed up, carried on taking pictures and didn't put the end link in properly. So unfortunately, those are the pictures that they have got. But as you can see on both watches, end links are fully fitted, actually very nicely fitted. And I want to take this off, so just pause for 1 second, guys. Okay, now that we got all that off, now instantly it feels like quite a different watch to the Tactical Frog. And I'm always amazed with when I look at you know, the same watch, basically, you know, all the different homages of the same watch and how different they actually are. And I think noticeably the bracelet in hand just feels so much better. Just there's so much articulation present there, very, very smoothly done. Really nice and long beads of rice. And you know what, it's just it looks to be a very comfortable bracelet, I can tell you that already. Okay, moving on to the case, just slightly different to the Tactical Frog, really nicely brushed. And the main thing, of course, was the bezel, right? So we'll check that in just a second. Good. Oh, that's good. That is blissful indeed. That is a really nicely rotating bezel. And if we can just see some finishing done around the edges as well. No playback, no movement or rocking on the bezel at all. Lines up perfectly as well. So check that out. I love that bezel, I gotta say. Usually in unboxings I don't like to go this far, but I know you guys are actually waiting for this, so I don't want to tease a bit too much. I actually want to show you a couple of things in case you're just waiting for the unboxing. As you know, most people do like to watch the unboxings to get an initial look at it, because a lot of you guys do know what makes a good watch, right? So you'll see what you're looking for and then you'll actually move on, and that's why I think the longer reviews don't always get the same amount of views. But there's still plenty of you guys that do want to wait for the full review. Of course, I understand that, so you guys can just sit tight and just wait until I do the full one. But I'm just looking at just some of the finer details on the bezel. It's just so much better, right? It's been really thought about. It has been done to a very high quality indeed. I'll just do a consistency check on this blue one here, this coral or teal. Yeah, same. Very accurate and a gorgeous bezel indeed. Love that action. So yeah, very consistent, and I like it, you know. Of course, I'm a massive fan of the Doxa sub. It's just that obviously, you know, I can't get my hands on one just yet. But interestingly enough, there was a subscriber, James Pigeon. Listen, I'm gonna take you up on the offer. He is gonna send his own Doxa 300T in, hopefully. So I'll be in touch with you, James, afterwards. And then we can also do a comparison. This watch is going to be featured in a fair few videos because, of course, I got to compare it with the Tactical Frog. I have placed an order with watchdives.com already for the version 2. So I'll only review it against the version 2. I'll say it's only fair. And I think, yeah, that's it. Drill logs. So, you know what? They haven't disappointed at the moment, right? Bear in mind, please bear in mind, these are only my initial thoughts. I've just looked at the watch now. So far, honestly, it does feel right. It looks good. So allow me to follow up with a review. It'll take some time before I come out with a full review because I do have quite a lot of work on, but it will definitely come out. So these are the watches from Seestern. Here's unboxing. You know, if you want to go ahead, make some purchases, pull some triggers, then I will leave the link in the store. But of course, I will do the full review on each and every piece, give it the time that they should get, and then I can follow up with a full review. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.